Hey guys, welcome back to another War of the Visions video, and today I'm going to be going over my account roadmap and what I'll be pulling for in the future in regards to my account. So, getting into the video, as you can see here, I do have Alphonse. I did get Alphonse and the FMA card, but there is a catch to it. There's a whole big story behind this Alphonse. So before I get into my roadmap, I'm gonna go over the story very briefly. So if you don't remember, or if you can recall, there was extended maintenance on Wednesday when the game was implementing the new patch and the new units, and apparently the operations team was having difficulties like reinstating the offer wall or something, or they were trying to give back the original offer wall payouts to the players that did it. And lo and behold, when I woke up after the maintenance ended, I had this in my presence box, 43.6k viz, which is insane. I know I did do a bit of offer walls before the whole fiasco happened, but I did not expect it to be this much. I know like some people got 7 to 16k, but this is pretty insane. So yeah, but before like I got this viz, I did have about 8k, so enough to do 6 steps of Alphonse's 9 step. So I did do that, and I did get 4 off-banner rainbows, unfortunately. And I just sat on this viz for a couple of hours before I actually got it from my box. So after I did my 6 steps, I went about my day for about 4 to 5 hours. I got this from my box. And then I was going to do a video for Alphonse, a poll video for Alphonse, but Google wasn't updating until much later into the day, and so I just pulled off screen. But that doesn't matter because I did go to pity for Alphonse, and I did go to pity for the card as well. So basically all of this viz just went snap, gone. But it doesn't stop there, because after I got 2,000 medals, enough to pity for Alphonse, I decided to wait a bit for the single tickets, which were given out on Friday and Saturday. And during that time I was waiting, I decided to do 3 more 10 shots to try and get Alphonse, so I could use the coins for his shards. And so I did 3 10 shots, I threw in 6k viz, and I only got a last wall. So yeah, now that viz is gone for good. Really stupid of me, honestly. I probably could have used it for like Bradley or Wingstern or whatever, but I guess this is my punishment, I guess. I'd pity for another cost 90 unit along with like my Yuffie. And yeah. If any of you are like mad that I got like the offer wall compensation, quote unquote compensation, I understand, but just know I had to pity for Alphonse and his card. And hopefully your pulls are better. Just saying, because man, I have been so unlucky these past few months. And yeah. So with that being said, let me get right into the roadmap then. So I'll just be like shifting through my units box here just to show what my box is like so far. So tomorrow they might announce Roy along with Wingstern, according to this roadmap that I'm looking at. And for both of them, I won't be definitively like hard pulling for them, as you can see by my viz count. Roy, I never really had any plans with, just because I'm not really interested in fire magic. I'll just be sticking to fire evade, nothing else. And Wingstern, just like based on the JP videos I've seen about Wingstern, I'm not like thoroughly impressed with Wingstern. I don't think he's like the definitive answer to Sephiroth, but for FF5 actually, I do think Bartz does activate Wingstern quite a lot and makes him the counter to Sephiroth, so there's that whole thing going on there. But I do not have enough for Wingstern or Roy or Bradley. And speaking of Bradley, I would have liked to have gone for him, but I did go to pity for Alphonse. But yeah, for Roy and Bradley though, I will most likely do their Mindsphere pulls just because it's a pretty good deal. 2k for 80 Mindspheres, you can't really pass up on that. And for Wingstern, I might do some YOLO pulls here and there just because I do think Bartz is a really good future partner for him, and Wingstern just looks cool, you know. So that is my plans for the rest of the FMA units and Wingstern, and after them is going to be Reagan. Now Reagan and I go way back to FFBE. I do think I used him quite a bit before Hyo came out in FFBE, if I'm correct, if he did come out before Hyo. But Reagan, he's very cool, but just like based on the videos that I've seen, ice slashing is not popping off whatsoever right now in JP. There's some people like building ice slashing units with like Reagan, Howlet, but it is just not, it's not there, you know. So sadly I will have to skip out on Reagan, and he's like a permanent cost unit or a permanent pool unit, so I won't be too sad about it. So after Reagan is going to be Vega. Now Vega is one of the units that I might pull for if I do have enough to pity for him, but I probably will buy some shards here and there from now, so I might not have enough to pity for Vega, but if I do, I will pull for Vega just to Google froze. We're back. Okay, I am back. So as I was saying, if I do pull for Vega, my lightning box is pretty good right now, and I could probably run like Vega, Resnick, Alphonse, something like that. I do think JP uses Vega quite a bit, but personally I haven't been too impressed by him. I think he's a bit gimmicky, maybe with like his Berserk limit break, but I'm not too sure. The only thing I know is that Vega is definitely a bit meta in JP right now, and yeah, but hopefully when I do pull for Vega, I do get him from his banner, and then I could use the coins to pity for Perrine, because a striking team is something I am looking forward to building now, just because I do plan on building Alphonse and Edward. And then I do have the FMA card, and then if I get Perrine, boom, that's a striking team right there. So hopefully I do get Vega on his banner, and hopefully I get Perrine as well. So moving on from Vega is going to be Sweetheart Miranda. Now Sweetheart Miranda, I saw like one video on her, and she seemed really nice, especially for like a cost 70 unit. I think Light definitely needs a low cost 70 cost unit besides like Engelbert, and Miranda looked really nice, but for us she's gonna be non-limited most likely, and she's not cost 100, so it's not really worth to go to pity for a cost 70 unit. But I will probably buy some shards of her and hopefully stumble upon her someday. So yeah, moving on from Miranda is going to be Kefka. Now Kefka, he's great from FF6, he's a great villain, but like Roy, not really interested in fire magic, so I won't be going for Kefka. Pretty simple there. Not going for any of the FF6 units either. I'm really only missing Terra, which is also fire magic, so yeah. from Kefka is going to be Dialdo. Now Dialdo is in the same boat as Vega. I might go for Dialdo if I don't have enough to pity for Vega. So yeah, Vega and Dialdo, quite a toss-up, and I do have the same plan for Dialdo as Vega, where I do hope I pull him on his banner so I could pity for Perrine. And yeah, moving on from Dialdo is going to be Howlet. Now Howlet, I love Howlet, he looks great, especially in his new outfit, but like ice slashing, same argument as Reagan, ice slashing does not seem as powerful right now in JP, and sadly I will probably skip for him. And finally, moving on from Howlet is going to be Raph. Now Raph is in the same boat as Vega and Dialdo. She's like the first real tank for Dark besides like Dwayne and Whisper. And even though I don't have Sephiroth, I think getting Raph might be nice for like a future Dark meta unit that is even better than Sephiroth maybe. Same for Dialdo as well. He's like the first real tank for Earth. So Raph and Dialdo are pretty good investments, I'd say, if I do go for them. Vega, a bit less, but investing into a tank, always solid for any player. They're like the backbone to any team if you do plan on making tank teams. And yeah, Raph in the same boat, but the thing about Raph is that she's pretty close to the FF5 collab, so who knows. After Raph is going to be Hyo, which we already got Hyo, so I'm gonna say like around this time is gonna be like Addison Rae or maybe a summer unit. Can't really say much about that, but I don't know. So moving on from that is going to be FF5. Now FF5, just based on what I've seen so far, Bartz looks like a great free unit. He seems like a pretty good answer to Sephiroth just because of his follow-up attacks, and he activates Wingstern a lot. So I will definitely be building Bartz. Rena, I might not go for her. She looks okay. She just seems like an upgraded Aika. It's cool that she like re-raises herself and her allies, but not much going for Rena there. And for Ferris though, we don't know much about Ferris right now, but we do know that her abilities somewhat involve Sildra, her serpent friend. And Ferris just looks amazing visually, art-wise, so I will be going for Ferris just because she looks so nice. And yeah, FF5, I didn't really like vibe with it that much. I put it on like my okay tier for my tier list. My favorite character from FF5 was probably Gilgamesh, but yeah, either way, Ferris looks amazing. She looks really nice compared to the Amano artwork, very like true to the art, I'd say. And yeah, that's all I really had to say for my roadmap. So as a TLDW, just going over the units I might go for. Wingstern, I might do some YOLO pulls for. Vega, Dialdo, Raph. It's a toss-up between those three, but I will get at least one of them. And then plus Perrine, hopefully I get Perrine. And then after that is going to be Ferris, 100%, just because she looks so nice. And then from there on out, who knows? But that is my roadmap and the future units that I'm gonna pull for. And hopefully my account is beyond this whole off-roll fiasco. Hopefully nothing like comes to attack me now. Hopefully after this whole thing, I am good to go. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.